little friendlier, no?
Good morning, Dr. Rao. How are you doing?
Good morning, Madeline. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Absolutely. I wanted to start off with just a question about how did you really get into the kind of conflict resolution world?
Well, it's like everything else. There's an opportunity sometime, and I just stepped into it. But I used to be Director of Organizational Development at Princeton University, and then before that, I really used to head up an employee assistance program at the University of Pennsylvania. So I had this kind of individual and organizational experience. And when I finished my PhD at the Penn Wharton School at Penn, I was asked to come back to Princeton to be a ombudsman. And I said, what is this, ombudsman? And really it was a neutral who resolves conflicts. So I used all my counseling skills and my management skills to resolve issues and do mediations. But I realized that there was much more to it than that. So it's taken me, let's say, about 15 years to hone my practice in conflict management, because I worked at Princeton for 7 years, and then I went to Coca-Cola Enterprises in Atlanta at their corporate office with 75,000 employees and 5 ombudspersons, and I was one of them. And from there, I came to MD Anderson Cancer Center here in Houston, and I worked there for 6 years, and my most recent appointment was at the Asian Development Bank in Manila. So I've had experience in different sectors, healthcare, institutions like universities and corporations, and even multilateral international organizations.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that background so that everyone understands that you have quite a bit of experience in
A lot of gray hairs.
in this world. Let me ask you this. How do you typically work with a client in an organization? What does that look like?
Well, if you're an ombudsman, people either refer themselves to you, which is the best thing always, or management refers people to you, or human resources staff refer people to you.
All right.
Because what an ombudsman represents really is a neutral third party. So you're not really taking the side of management or employees. You're sort of there as a neutral, and even though you're hired by the organization, and people are very quick to ask you, who pays you, at the end of the day, you're still a professional. And so you're really the best job you can do is when you're really a neutral. So as I was telling you earlier, neutrality is really one of the hardest things in the world to do, because all of us have feelings, and we attach ourselves to a conflict one side or another.
Absolutely.
And that's just normal and human.
Exactly, and that's why going in as an ombudsman, you are able to be that neutral person and help both sides, and you just don't have a vested interest in the outcome, other than that the people, of course, and the resolution does happen.
Oh, you said that beautifully.
Thank
Absolutely.
You. Good,
because
excellent.
The best resolution is one that meets the needs of all parties and creates truly a win-win situation.
Right, for everyone.
Yes.
So when you're going to present at the HSHHRA Symposium on February 19th. This is one of the reasons we're doing this as well, to talk a little bit about that. So can you give us a kind of overview, a few bullet points of your presentation without giving it all away?
Well, I'm really going to focus on getting people to understand what is conflict, the causes of conflict, how conflicts escalate. Because, we've all had these circumstances where you had a small little difference of opinion and you thought, it's not a big deal. And before you know it, it's huge.
Right.
So conflicts escalate, they become big if they're not handled well at the right time. And so we look at that whole process of escalation and how to manage the escalation process. And then you look inward at yourself. How do you handle your emotions? So there's really a cycle for conflict. And so I help people to understand the role of perceptions, the role of emotions, and the role of behaviors in conflict. And the goal there is to really teach people to manage themselves.
Excellent.
How to manage your emotions.
Excellent. So they leave any kind of session, and even at the symposium at the HSHHRA conference on February 19th, each participant will leave with some skill sets and some thoughts and some understanding of how they themselves can work through any kind of conflict.
Yes.
Initially by themselves. Obviously, there still needs to be that third party to really come in and resolve and help resolve and understand issues. But
well, most people who are coming there, I'm imagining they're people from human resources or some kind of management roles.
Right.
And for them, they are sometimes a third party. So I want to give them some, conceptual frameworks, skills and tools and ways to handle conflict.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Anu, for this, taking your time out to give us a little snapshot of what your presentation will be at the conference on February 19th. We invite all the folks listening to this to attend because we just know your presentation is going to be very exciting and helpful. Again, thank you so much.
Well, I want to thank you, Madeline. You've taken the time to do this interview with me. I truly appreciate that, and it's a great pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. You're quite welcome. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.